I had a very interesting day. I got into work at 8 o'clock this morning. I work from 8 to 4. So our credit card machines have been down, you know, with the whole cyber Microsoft thing that went down in the world, right? So it affected a lot of hotels and stuff like that. So let me back up a little bit. So yesterday I was able to get our system up and running with the credit card machines. Pats myself on the back. And now our credit card machines work. So we had to do it the old school way. Ever since Friday, everything was shut down. So we had to write down people's credit cards and their expiration date with their name and their payments. And then once the system got back up and running, we will be able to authorize the payments, right? And turn away guess if they give us the wrong credit card or whatever, right? Because technically when you swipe the credit card, it's supposed to authorize, but we can't prove that until the system comes back up and running. I said to myself, I said, this is gonna be a sticky situation because anybody can come in here and say that this is the credit card they're gonna use and there's no money on it, right? Okay? So, credit card machines is up and running. Credit cards that we had written down from everybody that we checked in. So she's authorizing payments to make sure everything goes in. They gave us the credit card that we're using. A lot of people's stuff went through successfully, and then we had some people who didn't go through successfully. So they was in-house, so we were calling them to see, hey, are you gonna switch the card? They was like, oh yes, let me unlock my card. So we fixed that situation. Some people came down and switched the card. So that started working right? So we get down to Mr. Myers. I'm gonna say the guest name. Y'all don't know his first name, so it doesn't matter. So Mr. Myers had, we thought, 3 rooms, right? He had 3 rooms. So the credit card that he gave us declined. He gave us a second credit card that it seemed like it was on a piece of paper, and that declined, right? So my GM is going in process. She was like, this credit card declined. Let's find Mr. Myers. Let's call Mr. Myers. Mr. Myers. So I go upstairs to see if these rooms are occupied. He was supposed to check out tomorrow. So I go upstairs to see if these rooms are like occupied, and they're not. Only 1 room was occupied. It had the stuff in there, but nobody was in the room. So I had to go and lock all the rooms out. I had to lock them out. So that way they wouldn't go back upstairs to try to use their key. So it would force them to come downstairs and get payment. And what if their belongings was in the room, they would have to do something like get payment until we can give them their stuff, right? So one of the guys come back. He was in one of the rooms. He came downstairs, and everybody explained to me who Mr. Myers was. Mr. Myers, they explained what he looked like, and I was like, hey, he came to the desk yesterday, and he was trying to extend a night for another room. He was paying for another room for a rate, and he was talking to my agent. He was telling her, he was like, yeah, she was like, I need the credit card and your ID, Mr. Myers. And he was like, I have my ID. He was like, I don't have my credit card. Can you just use the Apple Pay? And we was like, we don't do Apple Pay. I was listening to the whole conversation. We don't do no taps or nothing. We insert a physical card. So he was like, I got it on my phone. I was like, she was like, no, I cannot do that, sir. I need to have the card physically in my hand to write this down so I can have full payment. And he was like, okay, I'm gonna go to my room and go get it. It's in my room. So he went back, and I said to myself, I said, he's scamming. I looked right at him and knew, okay? I said, he's scamming. So the guy comes back to the room, to the front desk, and he was like, I need to get my stuff out of this room. And my GM is up there, and she's like, no, you can't get your stuff. And he's like, why I can't get my stuff? She was like, well, Mr. Myers owes us money. He said, well, I'm not Mr. Myers. He was like, Mr. Myers paying for the rooms. I am not Mr. Myers. I stayed here, just had my stuff sitting in there. He was like, I wasn't even here 24 hours. He said, my stuff was out there, and I was just using the room for that one day. Myers was supposed to pay for the room, because obviously he gave Mr. Myers money under the table to get a room. Okay? So my GM is like, no, you're not getting any money. You're not getting any money. And I mean, not no money. You're not getting in your room. You're not getting in your room. And he was like, that's crazy. That's crazy. How you gonna just hold my stuff? Da, da, da. So he was on the phone talking to somebody. And she was like, well, until Mr. Myers can come down here and pay for these rooms, then maybe we can give you a key to your room. But other than that, we can't do that. So he's upset in the lobby. He's on the phone with somebody. At first, we thought he was talking to Mr. Myers. He was like, he on his way. He coming right now. You playing with me right now. So he was like, this is crazy, man. Like, I can't believe this is happening. How you gonna hold my stuff hostage? Da, 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 da. So I was like, and he was like, can you please, and he looked at me. He was like, can you please give me, I said, I can't do that. I said, what we can do is wait for Mr. Myers. He was like, that's crazy. So he started walking upstairs. I said, oh, you going to the room? I said, I'm gonna go with you. So I'm walking with him to the elevator, following him everywhere in the property so he won't ask the housekeeper to get into the room because they slick like that. So I went up to the 8th floor. That's where his room was at. And went up to the 8th floor, and he on the phone chit-chatting. So obviously he's talking to a female, which was the girlfriend or fiance or whatever you want to call her, right? And he was talking to her on the phone. He was mad, So I'm at the desk. He came back downstairs because he tried to go to the room. I was like, you're not getting in the room. How you going to get in the room? You don't have a key. He was just like, this is crazy. He said, this is crazy. So I was like, we going to lose money because he don't have the money. Mr. Myers is not coming to pay for these 5 rooms. We're about to lose money. Go downstairs. The phone rings at the front. So I pick up the phone, and this girl is screaming, cussing, yelling over the phone. She said, yeah, my fiance. So I put the phone on hold, and then I put it back to my ear. She was still going, and I was like, ma'am, are you? I said, okay, you still talking. I'm going to wait till you finish. So I put the phone down, yapping. Everybody laughing at me because I'm like, she yapping on the phone. I can't talk to somebody until she get it all out. So when I put my ear back to the phone, I said, you finished? Yeah, for now. I said, for now. I said, okay, now, like I was saying, you cannot, mother effer, you gonna give me my goddamn. Like when I say she went off, and I said, oh, you still going? I said, okay, hold on, I'm gonna put you on hold again. And then pick back up the phone. I said, I just explained to you, this is what, you know what? I'm gonna come in there and beat your way. I said, you're gonna beat my ass? She said, yeah, I'm coming out there to beat you. I said, okay, I'll be waiting for you. And she hung up the phone. The GM was like, oh my God. I was like, she's coming up here to beat my ass, guys. So you might want to just watch out and see what happens here. Everybody was like, yo, we stand around to see what's going to happen because this is crazy. So maybe like 15 minutes later, you know, the lobby is full. We got guests in the lobby. We have children in the lobby, people waiting for their rooms, just sitting, waiting patiently. And then we got people checking in, people buying stuff in the market. And like I said, children downstairs. The girl comes in, black girl, she comes in screaming, y'all gonna give me my mother effing stuff right now. You gonna give me my mother effing stuff. And I'm looking at her, I'm like, we gonna do what? You gonna give me my mother effing stuff right now. I don't care who got the money. I don't care. Like when I say y'all, she was screaming so loud. You couldn't hear the person in front of you. We're trying to check in people, and she's screaming, y'all gonna give me my mother effing stuff. Y'all don't go hold my stuff hostage. And as she's screaming, my GM comes to me while I'm standing there looking at her, talking to her. I said, you need to come. I'm not calming nothing down. Y'all gonna give me my stuff. And she like, bow, bow. You gonna give me my mother effing stuff. That's what you gonna do. And she's screaming and yelling and yelling. She was like, y'all go do that. Oh, I'm gonna come over there and da-da-da-da-da. So it's gotten to the point where it's embarrassing now, and everybody's just looking at her. So I jumped in. I said, no, what you're gonna do is you're gonna calm down. So I'm screaming. Now I'm yelling at her. So I'm yelling from on the other side of the desk, and I'm screaming at her. I said, you need to calm down, or you're not gonna get your stuff. You're not gonna. I said, you're gonna calm down, or you're not gonna give your stuff. So she's still screaming. So I come around the corner. I said, get over here. Let's go. So I pulled her over to the elevator. I said, let's go right now. So she walks over there with me with her fiance. And she was like, I said, you need to calm down right now. I said, right now. Bring it down. You on a 10, you need to bring it all the way down. I said, I'm tired of you screaming, and it's not making the situation better. So she calmed down, and her boyfriend was like, babe, it's not her. It wasn't her. She didn't do anything. Oh my God, just calm down, calm down. She was like, I'm so sorry. And then she apologizes to me. I'm sorry. I'm not from here. I just came here. The room was given to me as a gift. I had nothing to do with it. And I said, I need you to get on the elevator, and you're going to talk to me, and you're going to calm down. So I took her all the way in the elevator, took her to her room. I said, you're going to get your stuff. I'm going to give you your stuff. I said, you're going to get your stuff, and you're going to get out of here. I said, that's what you're going to do. I said, whoever the guy is that has a room, I was like, yeah, Mr. Myers. I said, whoever Myers is. And I looked at the guy. I said, I know I'm not getting no money. And I need you to look me in my face and tell me if I'm getting money or not today. Because this is over. This is like too much right now. So he was like, no, you're going to get your money. He was like, I paid him $700 to get this room. He said, I gave him $700. He was like, but the payment has nothing to do with me, with his part. His name is on the reservation. I didn't know anything about it. I said, I get that. I said, at the end of the day, it's protocol. I said, technically, whoever's utilizing this room, and if we don't have any payment with you using that room, technically, we can hold your stuff, because technically, you should be paying for this room. You shouldn't be getting no room under nobody else's name. Because stuff like this happens. I said, we get fraudulent all the time. People come in here with non-payment, people scamming. I said, so yes, this is protocol. I said, so I know you're upset and I know you're angry, and I understand it's not your fault, but technically you're in this room, you're using this room. So technically, we should be trying to get some money out of somebody today. So my GM gets upset. Well, she's not mad at me. Like, she's not fussing at me. So she looked at, she went over there to me. She was like, so what happened? What you mean what happened? You were standing right there when it happened. So she was just like, so we gave them keys to go to their room. And I said, yes, I walked them to their room to get their stuff. She was like, but my protocol was to make sure that they do not get their stuff until I had received some payment, because we're losing money. So she's like, I should have got some money because at the end of the day, they owe us payment. I said, I understand that. Like, I get it, because she was like, it's a decision of mine. If I made a decision, that's what I wanted. And if we have decided to make a different decision, then you all need to talk to me about it, and then we can go about the situation differently. However, I needed that payment. I understand I understood her whole, like, I understood everything that she was saying. But at the end of the day, you know we're not getting no money. Secondly, you got employees, you got families, you got kids. Everybody is in the lobby, and you're looking at this girl scream to the top of her lungs. Had she went outside and got a weapon, had she did anything, come across the counter and did any physical harm to anybody, had I not just escalated the situation, it would have been worse. And all the police is gonna tell us for real, if they would have came, is like, is her name on the reservation? And the answer would have been no. The answer would have been no. And all they would have did was went upstairs and got her belongings and let her get her stuff. We would have still walked out of there with no money. So why sit there and let that be entertainment in front of families? And then that's something that's going to go on the website. People tapping in and saying, hey, I was trying to check in the hotel and this girl was screaming in the lobby and this, my family was here. You know how people are. People, this is our house. If you're not going to protect it in a way, then I'm going to go and protect it. It's good that you have a leader who cares about your employees, that care about your guests. And that's how I looked at the situation. And maybe when she calms down, and she's okay because we still talk during work. But I think once she really lets it settle in and marinate with it, she's probably going to be like, you know what? Monisha did the right thing. She did the right thing. And, you know, she protected what was ours. You know, even though we lost the money, I'll take the hit. But at the same time, like, you know, she helped us all, because she wasn't going to continue with that girl. She was screaming. And, you know, black people gonna look at another black person like, you gonna help me out kind of deal. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to make it about color, but that's how it is sometimes in our world. Like, people look at us and be like, oh, you gonna help me out? And I schooled them upstairs. I said, y'all cannot do this ever again. This is something that, this stuff like this, you got to be better than this. And they was like, did she talk to you upstairs? I said, yes, because y'all don't understand that language. You got to talk to them a certain way for them to understand. And that's why I knew she was all talk, because I was like, she's really not going to do anything in this lobby. She's scaring y'all, but she's not scaring me. That's why I could handle it. So we took the hit. It's okay, you know? So I need to know, was my GM right, or was I right, or were we both equally right in this situation? What, like, I need to know, like, for my sanity, who was right?